So what have you done? How did you grow your hair salon to really giving your client everything that they needed?
Genuinely think it was consistency. Okay. Do you know, like never taking me finger off the pulse. Like the passion I have for what I do, like it's just endless. I absolutely love it.
Welcome back to the Bankhouse Media Podcast. On today's show, we've got Karan Burke. Karan owns Ebano Ballinteer and MySkincare.ie. Karan is a client of Bankhouse Media and also has really, her business has come out of lockdown and out of all of that stuff really strong by some techniques that she's adapted throughout the years and also by bringing her business online in e-commerce. So thank you so much, Karan, for coming on.
You're welcome.
So we'll start right back at the start, right? So whenever you came out of college, did you study to be in beauty or what exactly did you do?
So when I come out, I done 2 years in Crumlin College, and then I started, my neighbour was actually the principal of Walmart College and Holistic Centre, so I done my presentations to iTech and I actually became a tutor straight off.
Very good.
So
I didn't even know that.
Yeah. So I was teaching always on the side and always working full time as well.
That explains a lot, actually.
Does it?
Because whenever, also you own Beauty Managers, which is a company which helps salons bring their business, the best out in their business, essentially. Yeah. And that was the first job that we actually done together, building your Beauty Managers website.
Yeah.
And that's whenever I really got to know how much, well, not how much, I know you have good knowledge in it, but also like on the business side of things. So whenever you were teaching and then working in a place, how did you end up with Ebano Ballinteer then?
I suppose I was working for an elite salon group until late 2007, and as that group was growing, they were growing like massively very quickly. Like my boss had opened 5 salons in one day.
Wow. Oh my God.
So and she was amazing to work for like at the beginning, and I loved all her values and all she put into the salon and her passion and her drive.
You would have learned a lot as well.
Learned a huge amount, and I'll always give her credit for that. But I suppose as the business grew, she probably lost the appreciation for like the amount of effort that I was putting into running her business. And just one Christmas, I just felt like my team was let down after driving them through December, and I decided that I'd handed my notice, gave a month's notice, and didn't know where or what I was going to do. But just
I think that's where the magic comes from, you know, whenever you just sort of put yourself out there, you know. And then, so at that point, did you then, over the next period of time, open your own salon?
Yeah, so literally an opportunity came to us over the Christmas. So I hadn't even finished up in this particular salon. I was still working out my notice, and the opportunity came to us, and I actually opened on the 23rd of January 2008. I opened Ebano Ballinteer as a franchise. So I was living over the south side. The franchisee, that the other my business partner was a friend of my mum and dad's, and I just said, if you find a premises over my way, sure, I'll go for it. Yeah. I had easy access to finance because my sister-in-law was working for the bank, and like the rest is history.
One thing led to another. So I know that you came out of that franchise then. Yeah.
So I had my little girl in 2009, and obviously Lily wasn't planned, and I was only a year into business, and things were really tough. There was only 4 of us. The recession had hit. We'd paid a massive amount of key money, like we were turning over 1,200 a week.
Oh my God.
And like there was 4 of us, so you can only imagine how hard things were.
You were running yourself into debt.
Yeah, and then there was no, like, even though I was part of a franchise, there was no backup and support from that franchise. So just independently I was trying to get through it. I was working for myself with no wages for an awful long time. I got 5 days off maternity leave.
Oh my God, really?
So I had my little girl on the Monday, and I was back in full time, like running a column, not the desk, on the Saturday.
Oh my God, that is insane.
So it was like coming up to Christmas. So,
but like I know how successful your businesses are right now because we've been working together for a while. So that pays off. Do you know what I mean? Like I always talk about, whenever I had people coming through now, I had someone come in last week and they were looking at an internship, and it was a paid internship. Yeah. And I was like, I said to Daniel just after it, I was like, I worked for 2 years for no money. like no money, on unemployment at the time, but I was like grafting and trying everything that I could to learn my craft. And it actually, you know, it stood to me now though. Definitely. I would go back and do it again. I'd, you know, if I thought that I was going to get even better, I'd do another year.
Definitely,
you know?
That's it.
But
you wouldn't get many now that'd do that.
I haven't met any since, you know. I haven't met anybody. A couple, like the guys in Bankhouse give like the extra mile. They definitely do. Same
with my team now.
Yeah, it's all about the team, like, and they do really give the extra mile. So you then took over Ebano then yourself then in 2009.
So in 2009, or early 2010, I think it was, myself and my business partner decided that we'd either fold the business or else and go our separate ways. But I thought I'd have a good shot making a success of it, and like anything I do, I want to follow through with it. So I took on the existing debt, which was massive, nearly $250,000.
Wow.
And I just worked extremely hard.
So you took on like $250,000 in a recession, turned over 1,200 a week.
Yeah.
What were you thinking?
I know, it's crazy.
Well, I know now that it's paid off. So So do you want to tell us like the positive side of that story then for the next couple of years? I
suppose like over the years it's made me so resilient that when things happen and like when we hit a bad time like a pandemic now, I'm like, I don't sweat the small stuff anymore. Do you know? Yeah. Money, it'll come and go. Same as problems and all the hurdles that come with being self-employed. But like, I suppose I'm so young and naive at 23, 24 getting into business, and the positives are that, like, you know, I'm on the other side of it.
Yeah. Well, you went on to create a business and that has, you know, turned over a hell of a lot of money. Yeah. Has a team of how many now?
21.
21. Salaries, that's a lot to pay every week, you know. Even if you go like, and I know, I'm sure they get like really well paid. So we always talk in Bankhouse, and I know this is something that you do as well. It's like whenever you have a product or whenever you've got a business, how to get more money out of that one client, like how to create a lifetime value, increase your lifetime value of your customer. So what have you done? How did you grow your hair salon to really giving your client everything that they needed?
Genuinely think it was consistency. Okay. You know, like never taking me finger off the pulse. Like the passion I have for what I do, like it's just endless. I absolutely love it. I have so much pride pulling up my shutter every day, and I know it's like, I just say, oh, my little business, but like it's such a big business now. Do you know, like what we turn over a year was only a dream. Like, and like I'm very private with me business, and like I really mind my own business. So like I don't really look around and see what everyone else is doing. I lead my own way, and like I think there's enough business for everyone to go around. It just, like, you know, put my head down, work hard. When clients come in, they know they're going to, no matter what therapist or hairdresser or whoever's standing behind the desk, they know they're going to get the same service in Ebano. They trust me, and it's taken years to build. At the start it wasn't as easy, so I had to be there every hour. Do you know, but I know now when clients turn up to the door, whether it's like a new assisting them in, they're still just as excited if I was there. So I just think even building that loyalty from clients. But
you've built then a team that has then built your business.
Definitely.
So do you think maybe the teacher in you, the night classes, maybe?
Yeah, I love grown people. Like that's it's not like, do you know, how do you measure success? Everyone measures it so differently, and people just say, oh, you're so successful, you're doing great, and I still don't really see it because like I'm in it. And for me it's like I'm always growing someone. So everyone in the salon at the moment has a goal. Doesn't matter what we're going through, everyone has a goal. There's training going on most nights of the week. I'm constantly pushing the girls out of comfort zones, and they're all laughing at me today because obviously coming up here I'm like, they're like,
you're being pushed out of your comfort zone. Well, no, the thing is, so it's too, we're stepping into like a very uncertain economic downturn potentially, and you know, there is, you know, girls out there 23, 24 that are thinking, oh my God, what am I going to do? Like, what would you say to them right now?
Come take a job in Ebano. No, like just assess where they want to go. Like everyone has different goals. So like my goals are completely different than my sister's goals. For years Rachel's been working for us. Actually it was her 10th anniversary this week in the salon, and I've always asked her, like, you know, come on board into the business. Like, you know, you work so hard for us, and her goals are completely different than mine, you know, like, so she might want more of a work-life balance. She still earns like brilliant salary. She gets to be at home a little bit more, and she has like a clearer mind probably. So it just depends on what their goals are. Like, don't be following other people like and looking at what their goals are, because I think that's what's happening nowadays. I see the younger girls coming into the salon and everyone wants to be at the moment working in the clinic, say. So they don't want to like serve their apprenticeship of like being like, say, the nail technician or the brow technician. Everyone's like, I want to be a skin specialist, because they know that's where the money is. So I'm like, just have patience. Do you know, that can be your goal and we can help you achieve that. But like I always say, like, downstairs is our bread and butter. That's the main, like,
when you say downstairs, what does that mean?
Like, so say like the hair and beauty salon, like that's the backbone of the business. So if that's not functioning, the clients that down there aren't being looked after 110%, my skincare is not going to be growing and flourishing, and it all goes into the one pot and we're all looked after from that, do you know?
Like, one thing is, like, you do take that really in your stride though, and I think that there is people out there in salons that are turning over 1,200 a week, you know, and $2,000 a week, and you know, how do they turn that into 20, 30 grand a week? Do you know what I mean? Where it probably should be, with the amount of money that people are spending. You know, women and men, but women especially, like with getting their hair done and all that stuff. How do they do that? How does somebody bring it from a 1,200 and break through that glass ceiling?
I suppose I've never kind of based my business around money, and I know that sounds crazy. I'm really into figures and like numbers, and I always knew my bottom line. But like when we with the beauty managers would go into some salons and they wouldn't even know their break even, where I think that's crazy.
I know.
Do you know, how can you run your business for sometimes 10 years and not know your bottom line? So mine changes constantly every month, because it could be a new team member coming in, someone could be on holidays, and we might have taken on a new treatment. So I'm constantly adjusting my break even, and I always know what I need to take in, and then I know where I'm at on a Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and that's what I've always worked off. As
a salon owner, then how then what advice would you give to like a salon owner where you're like, right, okay, we want to, you know, grow a business and do stuff like that?
Just invest in your team. Like, you know, take time to sit down and see what like stimulates them, like, or is in like motivates them, should I say. So what's their goals? Take time to ask them, and like sometimes you do like help people grow and they grow out of you. And like that's okay. It's taken me years, I suppose, to see that. I used to take that so personally. When someone would move on, I'd be like, how do you not love us?
I know, and that's it. Do you know what I mean? And like, I always think if someone goes to move on, it's the time for that, and you know, hopefully then that like everything, you know, it leaves on good terms and stuff like that.
And then there's going to be an opportunity for someone else to come in.
I read this quote the other day actually. It's sad that somebody you know so well can become a complete stranger overnight. But in the same sense, a complete stranger can become somebody you know really well overnight. So I always think it's great to have like opportunity for coming in. So in Bankhouse, right, we're fully serviced. We do like website, video. We like, whenever someone comes in through the door, I don't want them going anywhere else. I want them to stay with us. I want them to refer us. And it has been happening and will continue to happen. With your building, like between upstairs and downstairs, and the new exciting project that you've got coming up, you've got like, you do the same thing. So you do, what all do? You do right from nails? So
downstairs we cover all aspects of hairdressing. We're a Redken only salon, so one of the only salons like in Dublin, or should I say even Ireland, that only offer Redken as a brand. So everything from their colour, peroxide, bleach. Then we are a Gold Fever, Platinum and Hair Talk salon, so we offer hair extensions. And then in the beauty we do all aspects, so we specialise in brows, really good high standard for nails. And then we extended upstairs. We done like the clinic at Ebano in 2015. We launched our semi-permanent makeup, and we also launched our aesthetic clinic. So I could see the industry was changing like kind of around 2015. People were getting more serious about skincare, Like, we had a small beauty salon downstairs that really we were growing out of space, and we had like a laser machine, but people weren't really taking us seriously. You know, we're a local hair and beauty salon trying to tap into laser. So I expanded upstairs, took on a whole new premises, designed it as a aesthetic clinic, and we launched the clinic at Ebano. And last year I decided that I had bigger plans for it, and I rebranded it, so it's a standalone company now. It's MySkincare.ie, and you guys helped me launch the online side of it, which has gone absolutely phenomenal.
And now, well, you know, whenever we had met, you were like, I want to have an online shop, but it's not working. This isn't working, that isn't connecting. I looked at it, I was like, okay, well, let's go back to the start, and we did. The MySkincare.ie website is still one of my favourite websites that we've ever done in Bankhouse. And like, I think with what you wanted to design and like what we end up finishing off, I always say, I use it as an example at all times. I'm like, if this is a billboard on Sunset Boulevard, you have got like your money's worth. You can like book an appointment, you can click into the 3-month subscription, you can get straight into the shop, you can get, everything is on that front page and all the way through. Through lockdown, whenever everything shut down, like, how important was that business to you?
Like, it was the only thing that kept us going, the only thing that kept me sane. And then, like, look at us now. Like, you know, we're getting ready to launch a new business on the backbone of MySkincare.
Do you want to talk even about that? Because whenever you told me last week, I know you've been working on it for a while, so yeah, with the success of our online during lockdown, it led me to think that like maybe I could find a premises and start distributing a little bit more from. So we did that, and I found a premises in the city centre, in Dublin city centre, and we're just getting ready to launch our second aesthetic clinic. So whenever you contacted me, you rang me and said, I've got a really exciting project. I think I was probably more excited than you, and the way you were telling me. So you ended up, you've purchased yourself, you've bought, the company has bought, MySkincare.ie currently owns a premises which is launching in Temple Bar, in probably the most iconic part of Dublin possible. Do you know what I mean? So to be able to do that coming out of lockdown is a massive achievement, and I think it's great. I don't think you shouted about it enough, to be honest with you. Do you know what I mean? Because I know you're very modest with the success that your business has had, but I also know that it has came through really, really hard work, and also all the stuff that you do with the beauty managers. Do you know, like growing the lifetime value of your customer, bringing people in through the door and keeping them till the end. So what is your hope? What's your dreams for MySkincare.ie? I can't tell you them all. So the plan is going to get the second clinic up and running, and we're going to distribute our online from the city centre. There's space to do that, so it's just going to be like a 2 treatment room clinic with an outdoor consultation area and retail. Brilliant. So it's only going to be small, but it's ours, and it's another stepping stone. And in lockdown, the VIP subscription, would you believe, the membership that we launched last year as well, has gone phenomenal. Really? Has it? So like, that's like, because I can remember whenever you came in and you were saying like, I want to do the subscription. I was like, I think that's a good idea, and you were putting the package together, and I was like, I know that you know your break even like in a second. I was like, that seems really, really good. It's gone amazing, and my plan is it really involves that. Like long term, I can't really say much because I don't want to be giving me ideas away. Other clients have come into me and asked me about the VIP, by the way. Tell them no. I'm like, I always say, I think it's because I maybe use your website as an example sometimes, and people jump in. Everyone should. Like, it's do you know what? Not one person. This is loyalty. Our clients, not one of our clients cancelled their skin subscription during lockdown. Wow. Because they knew they'd be looked after when we opened back up, and we did, do you know? And like, we communicated with them, and like, what I'm going to do for them is I'm going to allow them use either of the units when we... that's brilliant. So that was like the first, basically, VIPs. And we've promoted that over the last couple of weeks, and we're getting skin subscriptions in every day. So digital for us, like, is everything. You know, Bankhouse Media, obviously, we're pushing that on everyone. How important is it to your company, even though that your company is very much a bricks and mortar and a hands-on service? It's so important. I feel like digital has showed off, and even lockdown has showed off, like, you know, how different we are as a business, how real we are as a business. I had products sitting on the shelf, now they're online, they're selling. Like, you know, how hard I was working beforehand, and not that it's easy,
because like, you know, even when our facial kits went, everyone was so excited. We packed up 192 facial kits in 24 hours. The sale is a lot easier, but like, it is still hard work behind. But I think the digital side of the business has allowed people to see into our business, like, you know, see the atmosphere, see the talent. Like, Instagram's been amazing and our website's been amazing to showcase the girls' work. It's made us reach people that would never use, like, we've people travelling from all over. Not at the moment, but, you know.
Well, Dublin's in shutdown at the minute, but see, with whenever it comes to your e-commerce business as well, like Salon, I know we're going to be working on putting your e-commerce business directly onto your Facebook, your Instagram account. So shopping from Instagram, that's the next step. We're starting that next week. But there is so much more reach out there. Do you know what I mean? There is so much way to get to them. And do you have a digital strategy? Do you wing it? Like, I know that we've worked on different stuff digitally with you, but yourself, whenever you're in the salon.
Like, I was thinking about this, like, what is our digital strategy? And I'd hate to say I don't have one, but like, I really try and educate our clients. I think that's what it is, and connect with them. I know that we have built, it's always kind of me or one of the girls that they know, they trust. So like, we're informing them about the product. They know, honestly, we won't stock or use anything in the salon that we don't believe in. If someone buys something, I'd happily give them a 100% refund. And I don't have that on the website, but, you know, I trust and believe in everything that we sell. I never put something just up on the shop without highlighting it on Instagram and educating people on how to use it. If it's a home facial kit, I'm going to be using it at home, teaching them how to use it. And I think that's like the difference of what, like, everyone's launching, oh, this is an amazing new thing, and it's like, buy it. Why? Do you know, like, I showed them the difference, how my skin might look before, how it'll look afterwards, how easy it's to use, if it's safe in pregnancy. Do you know, all them steps? And same way, whether it's a hair product or the latest hot tool, do you know? Putting
your beauty manager's head on, you know, whenever you're like putting yourself into that, because that's also a really viable up and coming business that you have, and a service. I know you've got clients in that business. What is your advice to business owners out there right now at the minute?
Take the time to invest into your team. If you're quiet, like, you know, you can create the day like by like sitting down and doing a quick coaching or a team appraisal.
And what if they need coach though? Should they find a mentor or what?
Yeah, definitely. Like, I don't know any successful business owner that doesn't have a mentor. At this stage, I've like a holistic mentor, a financial mentor. Do you know, I really put it, like, I've learned over the years, like, of work. And I used to say, I wish someone had just like show me how to use my money better. Like, I'd save everything outside or break even, and I still found it so hard. But like, taking on a financial mentor has been incredible. It's given me the confidence to buy my own unit in town, where I always would have thinking like couldn't buy a retail unit in Dublin city centre. It's not even an option, do you know? Now I'm 36 years of age and I own one. Do you know?
That is an insane achievement. Because maybe you'd said we're moving into Temple Bar, and you're like, I was like, okay, and you're like, I bought the building. I was like, what? Like, our office is in Temple Bar in Dublin. And I think it's such an iconic place to be, and I think it's a brilliant place to be. But that's it. Like, it is that thing, and it's now you just educating people to go through it. I do think that, like, again, I'm mad about mentors. I have mentors in so many different areas of my life, and we were talking earlier. One of my mentors, I'm now kind of helping him.
Brilliant. That's the way it works.
And that's what's like now. We're like back and forth. Where I'm helping him with some digital stuff that he's doing, but he still helps me in like guiding the overall business of it all. You know, he doesn't obviously know the smaller bits that I'm looking after for him. But it all works. It swings and roundabouts, you know. And
likewise with your team, like what you put into them, they're gonna give back to you. Do you know? I learn from everyone, do you know, every day, and like you can reinvent yourself as many times as you want, or you can change direction. I used to always be so afraid of, I suppose, failing. But like, I think now as you fail, you grow and
feel forward. I always say like the answers are always in, like that's where you get it. And we talked about with another guy on here about like getting negative reviews, you know, and getting sometimes negative feedback.
But it's good.
It's good. I
would have handled negative feedback, like rewind 4 years ago, I would have been so offended. And I'd be like, oh my god, like, we're brilliant. And now I'm just like, brilliant. That's feedback. We're getting feedback.
Yeah.
Do you know, like, come back in. Do you know, like, I over exceed the client's expectations.
Yeah.
Like, you know, it's not even about winning them over. It's like overachieving. And everyone's always like, I just love the way you deal with every situation.
Yeah.
And it's like, it just comes down to, like, the passion just to make people happy and, like, to fulfill their expectations and, like, give them value for money.
So it's brilliant that your business is doing so good, but right now there is companies out there that are struggling. You know, I know, because they walk in through the door and I have to, like, go through, and you're all about educating people. What advice would you give to somebody who's maybe at a point where they're just they need that bit of a bit of encouragement, a bit of a kick, or just a bit of advice to sort of get them on the next step?
Write down your goals. Like, I wouldn't start a month without setting my goals.
Okay.
I write them down. I tick them off. So, like, if they set their goals, and they can be start off small. Do you know? Maybe it might be just to do their break even.
Yeah.
Do you know, that's a massive thing. Like, you know, see if it is financially possible to be breaking even each week, and what they have to do. Would it be better for them to cut back their team or expand? Do they need a little bit more support? And there's just so much options out there of support.
Yeah.
And like, owning your own business is hard work, you know that yourself. So it's like having the consistency, understanding me. You can't work like at 50%. Do you know, like, you have to be constantly driving it on. Like, you know, for the salon to be looking after 21 girls, it's hard work. It is. Sometimes it's absolutely exhausting. But, like, if you have the passion and the drive, and if it still gets you up in the morning, you know, like, you know, that's my goal for the girls to be driving on. If they are like, are you worried that last week was a little bit quiet? I'm like, no, because financially we ended up at the same point. And I won't, like, I don't let my week drop, whatever it takes. If I'm off, I'll jump back in. I'll go wherever the business needs me on a weekly basis. And, like, until we settle again and everything settles back down, like, you know, that's what I'll do. And just, that's what people need to be more resilient. Like, you know, toughen up. And
there's so many people that you know, come in, and whenever we go through, like, where they're at, they're maybe not working as hard as what they probably think they're working at full capacity. Yeah. Like, one thing about Bankhouse, and they always come back and say to me, like, you know, every single person comes back and says, I've never been pushed as hard ever. Because see, whenever they have a week done and they think they've got a big done, I'm like, you're not even working at like half capacity of what you're capable of. And see, within about 6 months in, whenever somebody comes in, it's a moving wheel, like at 100 mile an hour, and someone's trying to step in at maybe 40.
That's it.
So you have to really, the 40 mile an hour when you have to like work them in and bring them up. But I think everybody could work a lot harder.
Definitely. Do you know what one of my coaches got us to do? Because at the start, like, you're on the defence, like, you know, I'm working so hard and I don't have time. That used to be my line. I don't have time. Wish I could train, don't have time. Do you know, like, and now I have time for everything. And they just said, do your schedule out for me from the start of the week till the end, and see how much time you have. And like, I'm not messing, you would surprise yourself at the amount of time you waste. Or the amount of time that people absorb. That, like, now I'm on a schedule to keep to my schedule, so that I can actually fulfill. Like, I do like self-care every day, where rewind 4 years ago, I only had time to go in and work in the salon and go home, do you know, put the kids to bed. That's
it. Do you know, so that was brilliant, Karen. Thanks so much for coming in. So where do people find you then, or where like online, social media wise?
So Ebano Ballinteer, or MySkincare.ie. So we've 2 Instagram pages. We've our Facebook page for Ebano Ballinteer. I have to get my skincare Facebook page up and running, and then same with obviously our website. So MySkincare.ie. Go on, have a look. Look at our online, look at our VIP subscription. If another business owner is looking at this or listening to it and they need any advice, like, you know, there's no problem contacting as well.
Well, you can contact directly to Beauty Managers.
Yeah, true. Yeah.
So Beauty Managers is another organisation that you have that is very successful. I know you're not pushing it right now. Yeah. Like, I know you're always pushing it, but like it's not the main focus right now, because like you're bringing plans through. My business needs so much. But if anybody does not know their break even, does not understand like anything about e-commerce or websites, contact Beauty Managers.
Is having trouble like
staffing,
coaching their teams, you know, like, you know, setting their goals, or if anyone has even trouble setting their goals, like, you know, that's it. Like, I'm setting my goals since I'm 16, 17, my kids do it. Do you know, it comes easy, but sometimes when people start with us, they genuinely don't know what how
they
to
want.
set a goal.
Yeah,
So
like, I mean, my goals, they're actually coming as fast as I set them now,
There
because
you
I've been
go.
so in it for so long, you know.
Yeah.
But and you give a free consultation with that,
Yeah,
right?
absolutely.
Yeah, you and Anna.
Yeah.
So look, brilliant. Thank you so much for coming in today. That was a great chat, and I hope
Thanks
that
for
like
having
people
us.
that were in the beauty sector, I hope they get a bit of help and
Fingers
advice from this.
crossed,
Do you know what I mean? Because I do think that every single industry needs, and we're trying at the minute to hit every single industry.
Brilliant.
Just to get experts on and somebody who can lend some advice to it, because I really do want other businesses and other to thrive in this time as well as yours has.
Absolutely. Thanks for having me.
Brilliant. No worries. I'll talk to you soon.